blowing up your account in a bad way, you know, where the price like goes way down. Here is a real life example of how it all begins and how it can quickly spin out of control. I'm actually pretty excited about this video because I talk about it all the time in other videos, in the podcast that I have, and just in general, you talk about theory. Hey, you know, you don't want to build bad habits. Bad habits can lead to this, that, and the other. But this habit right here that is beginning to form from this real life example, this is coming straight off of YouTube comments, is setting yourself up for absolutely blowing up your account. There are bad habits out there that I would be a bold-faced liar if I said, and they're gonna cause you to blow up your now. Yeah, they'll cause headaches, but it's a little taking things too far to imply that, and they're gonna make you blow up. No. They're not gonna make you blow up your account, but this is a blow your up account type habit that in this example, we're gonna see how it all begins. And maybe you've seen this before, and I've definitely talked about it time and time again, maybe you've experienced this, is you have something where a trader all of a sudden becomes an investor. And the kicker here is that, let me change up the color here. This all happens in the same trade. So no, this is not something where, you know, somebody is trading and then they're becoming an investor because maybe I'll take myself for example. I'm a trader, but I have become an investor because, you know, I want to diversify. Yes, I've invested in real estate, but now I want to invest in, you know, the stock market and stuff like that with IRAs and all that good stuff. So I have become from a trader to an investor. But no, this is becoming a trader to an investor in the exact same trade. And that's just not good. But let's first kind of go through the context of all this. So this comes from Eric, and Eric is a good guy. I've talked to him multiple other times on the comments he's left. So hopefully Eric watches this and kind of can just, you know, this offers him some constructive criticism. But Eric says he invested $465 in at 46 cents on the stock when the stock was coming down from its high. So in other words, he bought a pullback. His stop loss is at 40. Okay, I see nothing wrong with that. He bought on a pullback. He's got a stop loss in place. But tomorrow the stock will go up due to more eyeballs and more movement. Okay, so obviously he thinks the stock's going to go up or else he wouldn't have bought. So I don't see anything wrong here. He's got a trade plan. He's got a stop loss. I'm not worried about the stock crossing my stop loss plan. It only crossed it twice and then back up. We'll see tomorrow if I made a good decision or else I'll sell at 40. Thanks for the vid. At this point, things are looking good. Like I was saying, so far, so good. I don't see any issues. He bought on a pullback, so he bought at 46, and his stop loss down here is at 40. Stop loss meaning, hey, if it gets that far, I'm taking losses. I want to stop those losses, so I'm going to get out at 40. And now, of course, he doesn't think that's going to happen, and of course not. I mean, if you thought something like that was going to happen, then you would just wait until buy at 40 cents. But he thinks, no, I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think that it's going to go up. There's more eyeballs. There's more movement to come. So that's fine. Everything so far so good. He's clearly he's clearly being a trader. He's got all that mapped out. He's willing to get out if it's at 40 cents. Now let's go to the next day. So as far as YouTube is concerned, 15 hours later. But from a reference point, this is after the next day has occurred. So he's put this in a place, and now the next day has occurred. Let's see where things are at. Eric now says, as a day trader, I'd rather wait for the bulls to build a higher stair step. I was in at 46 and it broke support at 40 and 37. I couldn't sell, or I didn't want to sell because the catalyst is too good. But on the other hand, biotech spikers can be extremely risky. The stock was up 150% yesterday when it opened, so it was a foolish mistake to buy at 46. Watching it drop to 33, all I can say is for this stock, I'm switching from day trader to long-term trader and wait for those higher bases to build. Thanks, Clay. So as he described, he bought at 46. We already knew that. The next day unfolded. The price fell, and all of a sudden it's at 37. And what did he say happened? What happened in his mind? Well, it's a biotech, and these can be volatile, and these can be, I want a higher stair step, and I just want, there's more catalysts to come. He starts to rationalize. He starts to justify doing what? Rule break. We as traders do not want to be breaking rules. That's not good. But he's broken his rule, and he started to justify it with these other things. And then what does he go on to say? Well, my favorite part is he couldn't sell. But Eric, to give you full credit, buddy, you quickly said in that same sentence, or I didn't want to sell. So you caught yourself. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It wasn't a matter of you not being able to sell. It was you choosing not to sell. But like I said, to give you full props, you caught yourself very quickly there. But what happened then? Well, right over here, he said, I am going from, he actually used the word day trader. So he changed from day trader to then, again, his words, not mine, long term. In other words, I'm just going to hold and hope. That's what that is right there. That is somebody with a plan, with the strategy going into something, turning into hold and hope. Again, just to reiterate, at the forefront, his plan was fine. His rationale was fine. But things spun out of control and all of a sudden turned into a hold and hope strategy just because he allowed his mind to rationalize why he should hang on. And I don't know what's going to happen with this. This actually is still, the ticker symbol is still in play at the recording of this video. But what do you think the worst thing that could happen is right now? What do you think the worst thing is? If you're saying, Clay, the worst thing that could happen is if the price continues to go down and down and down. Wrong. The worst thing that could happen is that the price recovers and he actually makes some money on the trade. Because what does that do? That puts him at the risk of this. First off, hey, that rule break, it worked. And I actually made money. And it's always amazing in these situations, as soon as it gets back up in the green, usually the cycle goes something like this. Long term, no, hey, look, I'm actually in the green again. Okay, I'm going to be back to a day trader. I'm selling out for a profit. That's usually how it goes. This long-term investor thing, that doesn't really last. It only lasts while they're underwater on the position. But let's say, like I said, it goes up and he makes money. That is building the habit that not only is rule breaking good, but you know what? Holding and hoping. That's where it's at. I became a long-term investor and I held in hope. So let's say that happens again. He's got the plan, rule break, it goes down, hold and hope. And again, you know what? It works. It works. That you're probably, okay, that's good. No, because he made money. I don't care that he made money. Think about the habit that he is creating. He did it again. He broke his rule. He held and hoped, and it worked. Let's say this goes on another time. It works. Another time. It works. And then time number 5 comes around. But who knows? Maybe it's time number 7. Maybe it's time number 9. At some point, the habit is so strong that what's going to happen is it's dropping. So let's get back to this. So it's dropping, and then his mind is referencing back to all these other times where, hey, remember when you held and hoped? It worked. It worked. You know what? But the one thing you haven't been doing, you haven't been buying more. What happens if you would have bought more all those other times? Oh, that would have been great. And these are all the voices in his mind. So what happens here? Well, it drops, and this time he's like, you know what? I'm going to buy. Drop some more. You know what? I'm going to buy some more. Drop some more. I'm going to buy some more. Because all these other times, it's worked. And it's worked. And you know what? Maybe on this time, it actually works again. There you go. Buy and hold and hope. But this time, I'm adding in buying more. This goes on a couple more times. His portfolio is growing. And because it's growing, he has more money to work with. And then this all happens again. However, what happens in this situation? Where'd my red go? There it is. This just keeps on going. And I'm going to hopefully take this off the screen. And it just keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. And remember, he's holding and hoping, and he's buying more and buying more. See you later, account. See you later, all those gains. Now, am I saying blowing up in terms of him having 0 in his account? No. Am I using blowing up in the sense of a big old hefty loss that has wiped away a whole bunch of those gains? Yes, absolutely. This is not theory. This happens all the time, and that's why I was pretty just fascinated with the way this all worked because, again, Eric, thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your candidness. And but just be careful, man. You got to be very careful. Even if the current trade that you're in works out, be careful of this. Ask yourself, what sort of habits are you reinforcing? Because the way you talked to me, and you were straight up in trade mode, it sounded good, but you are just basically making it up as you go at this point in time. When you were making it up as you go as a trader, that is just, you might as well be a chicken with your head cut off, because that's essentially what's going on. You're building bad habits, and even when those things do work out, you're reinforcing habits where eventually this is going to happen. And I have plenty of other real life data of this. If you listen to my podcast, I'll put a link down below. There's been, I can't say every episode, but it's come up time and time and time again where people build some sort of bad habit up. So I'm not saying necessarily this one, but build up a bad habit, and it works and it works and it gets stronger and it gets stronger as the habit. But then it just takes that one trade where things don't work out, and just like that, poof, big old loss. Some people have blown up their account where they literally told us, hey, and then I had nothing left. A couple people actually, because they did it on margin, they not only took the loss, but then owed money to their broker. So, that's how bad some habits can get if you start using margin. But the idea here, okay, you're just being dramatic and trying to scare you. Yes, absolutely, I'm trying to scare you. I am 100% trying to scare you into respecting the process, into respecting building good habits. Because bad habits can bring you gains, there's no doubt about it. But once you have the bad habit entrenched in there, all it takes is one or two trades and everything can go totally astray, and your account can be looking very, very different just like that. And I see it all the time. And worst case, you don't believe me, you want to go and do this, hey, it's your money, that's your prerogative, it's your life, you do what you want. But I'm warning you right here. And this habit right here that Eric displayed is one of those where if you keep doing it and keep allowing it to happen, you are building that habit that eventually is going to lead to blowing up your account. Whether or not it goes to zero, I don't know. But as far as a big old loss, yeah, it's only a matter of time. So be aware of it. Be very, very careful of your habits. And if you say you're going in as a day trader or a trader, make sure you stay a trader. If you say you're going in as an investor, make sure you stay in as an investor. You got to follow through the trade plan, and when you start breaking rules, that's just not good. If you are out there trading alone currently and maybe are in the market looking for a community to join to assist you in your trading or to just help you, give you another set of eyeballs, then I do have a private trading community where you can trade alongside me and other experienced traders. So what you see popping up on the screen right now is both an information link. So if you click on the inner circle one, that is going to take you to the page where I explain all the details of what exactly come with the community, both the chat room and the newsletter. And then the other image that has popped up is a behind the scenes tour where you can see exactly what is going to be contained within the community. I take you through, like I said, a behind the scenes tour of everything, and that way you'll know precisely what you are getting when you join. So definitely check that stuff out if you are interested and thinking about wanting to join a community, and let me know if you have any questions.